Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Politically Correct Ghana lesson 238. And the discussion is on 24 hours economy for Ghana. 24 hours economy for Ghana, good or bad? All right. Today being the 22nd of June 2024, there's a political wind blowing, and John Dramani Mahama of the National Democratic Congress had mentioned 24 hours economy. Prior to then, in 2020, it was captured in Dr. Hassan Ayariga, APC's All People's Party's manifesto documents. And its origin is all said to be coming from the National Development Planning Commission's program for the country. All right, developmental program for the country. All right, so now there's a campaign promise. Let's get into it. What John Dramani Mahama is proposing for the 24 hours economy, we have to give it a theoretical thought and a practical view of what has happened in other countries. Then we learn lessons from it, or we contextualize it. Don't let us adopt it, but let's adapt it, because our context is different. Okay, in Dubai, 24 hours economy operates. So it means that if it is working in Dubai and other places, it can also work in Ghana, but you have to contextualize. In contextualizing, we have to look at it carefully. A committee must be set up to look into John Dramani Mahama's NDC's 24-hour economy concept. Why am I saying so? Look, if this is well planned, it's a big plus. It will reduce the unemployment, minimize the crime rate, increase security in our country. Then, of course, it will reduce the stress, and then we'll gain a lot from the GDP. All right, let's look at it carefully. Does that mean the whole country has to go under 24-hour economy? I'm not too sure. It is not a day's event. It's a process. It will take about 6-7 years to get properly grounded. Okay, so you have to register first. It means that 24 hours means that in a day there are 24 hours, and then round the clock, there'll be work round the clock. Others will be working in the morning, others will come for swing, and then others will come for night. Then it goes on that way. They never sleep. And all those organizations operating 24 hours economy will be registered, and they will have on their signpost properly demarcated 24 hours. Because it's properly demarcated 24 hours, they would attract security. Extra security, so more people would have to be employed in the police to take care of that. Those who are already existing now, the number of police officers, if they are 7,000 or 20,000, you would have to employ another 20,000 for swing, another 20,000 for night. Then you would have to have what we call the reserve security. So it means that there's a tendency that we employ threefold policing. If you can employ good people, train them to become effective police officers threefold in the country, you have reduced significantly reduced or highly reduced the unemployment amongst the youth in Ghana. Then you look at retail, you look at transport, security I've mentioned. Then you look at restaurants, entertainment and restaurant. Then you look at pharmacy, then hospitals as well as one. So we're looking at 5 sectors that can be introduced. The backbone of these 5 sectors will be manufacturing and industry. Manufacturing and industry can only produce provided there's the demand. So if we stimulate demand for 24 hours, it's possible. If we stimulate demand for 24 hours, it's possible that retail can operate 24 hours, hospitals, pharmacies, transport, policing can all operate, and then entertainment. Take note, look at it carefully, right? You need velocity of money to be increasing. To increase in a country, money must change hands quickly. People must be purchasing. So you need to stimulate that buying and selling. People must buy, impulsive buying, people must buy. People must work so that there will be employment generation. And then more and more multiply effect. Then banking is also another. So we look at it, retail. So the manufacturing end will produce, then supply through supply chains. Supply chain is the transport. It means that there should be no doom, so there should be no doom There should be saw only. There should be no doom saw for 24 hours to operate. So if that is going to happen, it's possible, very possible, that John Dramani Mahama must ensure that there is no doom saw, so that goods from the factories or the industries would have to be transported. So big haulages will come, drivers will be employed, their assistant drivers, assistants will be employed. There will be so much security, and every transport must have a police officer in it for security purposes. However, if it gets to the retail end, the middle person or the warehouse, and then to the retail end, people will be employed for afternoon, swing, and then night. And then the same for retail too, swing and night. And then they have their reliefs. So you can now notice that the police, you've employed threefold. Warehouse, in the 24-hour organizations, you employ threefold. Retail, you employ threefold. So this is our employment generation. The moment you employ all this, pressure comes down amongst the youth because they are engaged and busy. The devil finds work for the idle hands. This time they are no more idle, so the devil has no place to work that much. It has to look for another place to operate. Okay, that notwithstanding, let's look at it carefully again. If the retail is operating, restaurants will operate. Why would retail operate in the afternoon and the night, and then during the day? Because the temperatures will come down. Temperatures at night is always lower and more conducive for people. Temperatures at night is lower and more conducive, so there will be more security. Security will employ security gadgets and personnel, lightning, CCTVs, drones flying all about, checking security, guard dogs, and all that would have to be employed. Private organizations will have to be operating because they would have to get CCTVs installed and all that. They will have to purchase, and it means that private employment are also what? Gaining some revenue out of all that. Then it gets to the retail end. The retail end, the banks will have to go in at night to pick the cash out of the organizations to the bank. So cash in transit would also have to be set up for trade operations, day, swing, and night. That's also another money that's making, and that's also what? Another employment sector. Banks operating at night. They are not operating at night fully as you see for personal banking. No, at night they'll be doing cash in transit. That's what I mean. Okay, so don't get me wrong. So that's cash in transit. Then that aspect is there. Hospitals already are expected to be operating 24 hours, but they are only escalating staff. By this time, they will not be escalating staff because there will be a lot of shoppers, a lot of eateries will be open. Once they feel secured, running about, jogging, shopping, going to work in a factory or industry, they feel secured at night. Look, eateries, people go out to eat in the night. People go to even restaurants. The one I love most is that you go in, you pick the items in a raw form, you prepare it in a restaurant yourself and eat, and after an hour you are thrown out and another person comes to prepare his food and eat, and you pay, and the restaurant is running and operating much better, more people. That is 24 hours. Lest I forget, while these 24 hours companies are registered and operational, taxman, that's GRA, Ghana Revenue Authority, would have to also operate 24 hours, meaning that they have a twofold staff strength, twofold to employ, the swing and the night, because these are operational staff. And granted, to make the 24 hours successful, granted that the taxman gives 40% tax relief for all operators of 24 hours enterprises. Even if it's 30% tax relief, that's big as an incentive so that organizations will operate 24 hours. That is one point. Then you think of it again. What about the courts? Once there are people about and their security or policing all about the place, there is likely to be infractions, and the infractions will give the courts the opportunity to work 24 hours. Some courts, not all the courts, but some courts will operate 24 hours. At least they will take the opportunity to clear all the backlog. The delays in court, cases that are delayed in court, they'll clear all those backlog. So then it means that the judicial service will also employ some more. So employment all over the place. But then importantly, take note, is the law houses, the law firms. We now have chambers, law chambers, small. I'm sorry, I call it the law chambers, small. But we are likely to have big law firms now. Under the 24 hours, we are likely to have big firms, big law firms, which can be as a big story building as high as 10 floors, full of lawyers. That is 24 hours for you. It affects most areas of our economy. That's my understanding. It will take time, at least 6 years, to get properly grounded. It's not a day's event. So let us welcome it because it increases employment. It offers room for so many people to be employed. Security and our safety, velocity of money will increase, will grow money. Once the velocity of money increases, mind you, the banks would now borrow to manufacturing industries to increase their production. They will also hire more people because they're already operating 24 hours. They'll hire more people. So the whole cycle is, everything is going to move. The economy will just move up into what? Expansion. The name is H. Kwame Afaglo.